Heritage Hill in Alloway is getting set for a Veterans Day celebration, and tonight's event will feature Pearl Harbor and World War II veteran Furman Balza. He's one of two living Pearl Harbor veterans in Green Bay. He joins me now in the studio with more. Furman, thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, sir.
Tell me a little bit about, now you're speaking tonight at this event at Heritage Hill, and you're going to be talking about your experiences at Pearl Harbor, right?
That's right, sir.
Now tell me a little bit about that. You were on the USS Maryland?
Maryland, yes.
And what happened on that December 7th?
At the time of the attack, I was standing on the starboard gallery deck with two people, first-class cook and a first-class gunner's mate. The gunner's mate was in charge of the battery that I was on the Maryland. And would you believe we were talking about if the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor.
Really?
And sunk a ship in the channel going into Pearl Harbor, that all the ships, there was at least 100 of them, would have been trapped in that harbor. It almost happened that way. There was a fellow by the name of Donald Ross. He was a warrant officer on the USS Nevada, got the Nevada underway. I don't know what the man was thinking, where he thought he was going to go or what he was going to do when he got there. But he got the ship underway, and she got torpedoed as she went down Battleship Row on the way out of the harbor, and she got down to Hospital Point, where you turn and go into the channel to get out of the harbor. And by that time, he had got hit by 5 torpedoes, and he had the good sense to run it up on the beach, so he didn't plug up the harbor or the channel.
Wow.
So that's what I was talking about at the time of the attack. I'm standing there looking out over Ford Island, and a Val dive bomber comes through. He goes over the administration building and gets over to the main hangar on the south end of the island, and he turns up and drops his bomb. And then there's a big red ball of fire and a big black puff of smoke, and then all hell broke loose.
Now, did you know, you knew pretty close to when that happened, what was happening right away?
I knew instantly what was going on, because I saw him when he went by with his great big red ball on the side of his airplane, and the one under his wings, and he was just at treetop level. He was just like he was on a Sunday picnic. He wasn't going anywhere in a hurry. He just went sliding by there, and when he went by there, because nobody was shooting at him. Nobody even knew he was coming.
So then how long did it, then obviously there were a lot of explosions happened around you. How long did the whole event take place? How long was it?
I can't really tell you how long it lasted, because the next thing I knew, it was 2:30 in the afternoon. That's the first time I had any sense of what time of day it was. Now that's from 8 o'clock in the morning till 2:30 in the afternoon. And when I found out at that particular time that my division officer, my junior division officer, had gotten killed in the foretop when we had a bomb hit on the forecastle. Now, the bomb didn't hit the forecastle. It came down and hit a guy wire that held the canopy that was over the forecastle, and it exploded above the deck, and a piece of shrapnel hit my division officer in the neck, and he bled to death. He cut his jugular vein, and he bled to death in the foretop of the Maryland.
How old were you?
I was 18 years old. I celebrated my 18th birthday in September in Hawaii in 1941.
And so you're 18 years old. You've been, you grew up in the Green Bay area. You're in the midst of it, and you're at Pearl Harbor, December 7th. What was that like? I mean, what kind of when you see these bodies all around you, you see the explosions, was anything going through your mind at 2:30 in the afternoon when you realized?
If you were asking what it was like, I would say, if I die, I won't go to hell, because I've been there and back.
Wow.
But that isn't the most trying time, I think, because it happened just like now if you and I were sitting here and all of a sudden all hell breaks loose, you know. You have no time to think of it. You're not thinking of it. But now if you're on a ship and you're going someplace, and you see all these ships coming from all over, very soon you have a whole armada. And you know when you get wherever you're going that somebody is not going home to visit his mother. And you don't know who that is. Now, then this is one time, and it takes you 2-3 weeks to get there. Now, you got a lot of time to know what's going to happen when you get there.
Yeah.
That's much more severe than being bombed in Pearl Harbor, believe me.
The anticipation of it.
The anticipation.
Wow.
You'll shoot yourself 1,000 times before you get there. And after you got there and it's all over with and Akko is still standing there, you say, well, they didn't get me this time.
Furman, I want to thank you very much for joining us today, and I want to thank you for serving our country.
Thank you.
And thank you for speaking tonight at Heritage Hill. Yeah. I understand half of the proceeds will be going to the hometown heroes as well. So that's tonight at 6:30. If you want to learn more about Pearl Harbor, you know, a lot of times we just know Pearl Harbor from the black and white photographs and the film that we have from it. So this is a person who lived through it, and you can tell you more about it. Tonight at 6:30, go to Heritage Hill, go to our website, fox11online.com, click on Good Day Wisconsin for more information. And we'll be right back.